Hello friends! Today we are finally going to fix my quarantine brows. So I haven't touched my brows ever since quarantine started here, which was over 2 months ago, so that's really been the longest time ever that I've left my brows alone. And I'm actually going to try something new for my brows today, and that's a DIY brow lift / brow lamination. If you're new to brow lifts, it's basically perming your brow hairs so that they are lifted and appear more neat and tidy. So here is a before shot of my brows, and you can see that there are a lot of stray hairs, but also that the hairs on the ends of my brows naturally droop or point downwards. So as always, we're going to start with a cleanser to remove any excess oils. So the supplies that I'm using today are a combination from my lash extension supplies and also from a lash lift kit that I got before. And the next step now is to actually use some adhesive to glue into place your brow hairs. And I'm using a false lash glue, which came with the lash lift kit. After I put glue all over my brows, I used this little comb to brush and set the brow hairs in place, and this little comb also came with the lash lift kit. And this part is kind of the most tedious part of the process. You do want to take your time and be careful with your placement of the hairs, because whatever placement or position you have them in, that's what's going to stick after you put on the perm solution.
Babe, look at my eyebrows.
I still can't tell.
What? You can't tell? Oh my god.
So I'm just brushing the hairs up and away, and at this point it does look kind of crazy with all the hair sticking up and looking a bit bushy, but after the perm is when I'm going to be trimming and plucking and cleaning it up a bit more. So usually when I do my makeup, I actually do a soap brow look already. And if you don't know what that is, it's just basically using bar soap to gel your brows instead of brow gel because, well, I'm cheap, but that's also why I've been so excited to do a brow lift on myself, because it's usually the look that I enjoy and it's going to be more effortless now. If you didn't know, I do have a lash extension business, and obviously I had to close it down because of the quarantine. And before everything happened, I actually wanted to offer brow lamination or brow lifts as a new service, but of course I procrastinated until literally a pandemic shut the world down. So let that be a lesson to everyone. Do not procrastinate on the things you want to do, because the world might literally end on you. But on a higher note, I'm really excited to see how this turns out, even though my brows are looking a little crazy right now. So I'm finally happy with the placement of my brows, so now I'm applying the first solution onto my brows. This is technically a lash lifting perm solution, but it works the same way on the brows. And as I understand, this first packet is more like a relaxant for the hairs so that they become more flexible. And the next solution that I'm going to apply is the one that fixes the hairs into place. So I'm just saran wrapping my forehead now, don't mind me, and then after that it's just going to be 5 minutes with this solution on, and then we're on to the next step. And while we wait for my brows, let's take a much needed break from my face and enjoy a cutaway to the puppy. And we're back! So I believe the perming solution that I got is actually a express kind. So if you have another type, it might actually take longer than 5 minutes. And after peeling off the wrap, I'm going to wipe away some of the excess product, and you don't have to worry if there's some product left, that's okay. What you should take the opportunity to do is to fix some of the placement of your brow hairs, because the next solution that we're going to apply is going to fix the hairs into place. So real talks, how has your quarantine been, guys? For me, it has been surprisingly harder than I thought it would be. In the beginning, there was of course a lot of uncertainty and stress, but part of me was also a little excited for the break because I was working like 7 days a week before that. But one thing I really didn't anticipate was what a toll giving up my work and business would be. I realized how much of my self-worth and purpose really came from running my business, and not having it for so long honestly got me feeling kind of down. But that's why I'm so grateful for this time to be able to sit down and just do a little something for myself and be able to share it. I find that whenever I'm down, one of the things that helps me is just being able to take some time and do my makeup or something like this, even if I'm not going anywhere. For me, it's just so much easier to feel good about myself when I'm not lazing around and looking like crap all day. And sometimes that's the little boost you need to get through the day, or maybe achieve a little more than you had planned. So while we wait for the second solution to sit for 5 minutes, we get another puppy break. I'm back, and we are finally done with the perming part. And now I'm just going to take some of the cleanser I used earlier and remove all the solution and adhesive off of my brows, get them nice and clean. And now we get to brush them out and see how they turned out. And as I'm brushing them, I already have a favorite brow. If you think you know which one it is, let me know in the comments. So now that the hairs are permed and lifted, I can see the natural shape of my brows a bit more. So now I'm going to take my tweezers and clean up the stray hairs. Now I'm starting to see the difference between the two brows. The one on the left obviously is the one I cleaned up, so it's looking a bit more neat and tidy, versus the one on the right I haven't tweezed just yet. So they're coming along. I'm happy with the tweezing, and they obviously look still a little bit crazy, and that's why we still have our last step, which is to trim the top of the brows. And I have my little precision scissors for that. And for this part, you can obviously trim shorter if you want your brows to be thinner, or you can trim less if you want them to be more thick and bushy. It's kind of up to you. I'm going for something more in the middle.
Babe, look at my brows, come. I trimmed this one, I did not trim this one.
I see the difference.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe my eyes. Look at the difference between the left side and the right side. And I think I'm finally done! Yay! So like they say, brows are not twins, they're sisters. So they're not perfectly the same. And one sister is definitely prettier than the other one. It's the left one. But I'm still really happy with the results. So before I get too carried away, let's just remind ourselves of the brows that I was dealing with before and the long journey that we've traveled. And at long last, through treacherous storms, we have arrived to the present. So I decided to put on some everyday makeup and just filled my brows in with a bit of brow pencil just to give you a look at what the final result is like. And I am just so happy with them, so happy! And here's a little shot of my puppy. He was sitting beside me throughout the process, sleeping, and now he's recharged and awake, ready to wreak havoc upon my life. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.